What I think should be very disconcerting is that their new candidate apparently doesn't have a position yet on minimum wage, which I don't know if you saw that interview, but it was pretty shocking this morning. He was on MSNBC of all places, and he would not give a straight answer on minimum wage.
All right, that was Rick Ungar. Welcome to Gimme 5. I love Rick. He was on with us yesterday talking about an MSNBC interview done with Dave Bratt, the man who beat Eric Cantor. And MSNBC presented that interview in a way that made it seem as if Dave Bratt would not give an answer to questions on issues, including the minimum wage. I hadn't seen the interview. Rick said he did, and I shot back at Rick with this. From a network that has repeatedly been accused of editing to make Republicans look foolish?
And that's relevant to this.
No, it's not irrelevant to this. All right, well, boy, I guess I knew what I was doing. Let's listen to some of that interview between Chuck Todd and Dave Bratt.
Let me ask you about trade agreements. There's a couple of big ones that are actually likely to come for you to vote on, assuming you do get elected to Congress in November. A big one with Europe and a big one with Asia in general. What are your view of trade agreements? Are you open to big free trade agreements or not?
Yeah, I'm a free trader. I mean, after World War II, the GATT, the Free Trade GATT Association, brought tariffs roughly from 50% down to about 4% or less today. And that's been good for European trade with us. We set up our arch enemies, Japan and Germany, after the war, started trading with them, and it enriched all of us. So I have a win-win positive view about relationships with other countries that respect the rule of law. And so we got to move forward on that front as well.
Sounds like he had a great answer for that. Next.
Let me ask you about something like a foreign policy question. Arming the Syrian rebels. Would you be in favor of that, with the U.S. military helping to arm the moderate Syrian rebels?
Hey, Chuck, I thought we were just going to chat today about the celebratory aspect. I'd love to go through all this, but my mind is just, I didn't get
No, I understand that, but I just want to get a sense of...
I love all the policy questions. I'm happy to do them more, but I just wanted to talk about the victory we had, and I wanted to thank everybody that worked so hard on that campaign. And I'm happy to take policy issues at any time. So I just wanted to call out thanks to everybody today.
No, I understand that, but quickly on something on national security, do you consider yourself an interventionist or an isolationist?
I think the press is in the habit of doing juxtapositions like that don't capture reality well. I'm a PhD in economics, and so you analyze every situation uniquely because every international situation is unique.
Hey, and he went on and on and on and had a great answer there, too. And then this.
Let me ask you a few other issue questions. We've talked a lot about immigration, for instance. Where are you on the minimum wage? Do you believe in it, and would you raise it?
Minimum wage, no, I'm a free market guy. Our labor markets right now are already distorted from too many regulations. I think Cato estimates, there's $2 trillion of regulatory problems. And then throw Obamacare on top of that. The work hours is 30 hours a week. Yeah. You can only hire, 50 people. There's just distortion after distortion after distortion, and we wonder why our labor markets are broken.
So should there be a minimum wage in your opinion?
Say it again?
Should there be a minimum wage in your opinion?
I don't have a well-crafted response on that one. All I know is if you take the long-run graph over 200 years of the wage rate, it cannot differ from your nation's productivity, right? So you can't make up wage rates, right? I would love for everyone in sub-Saharan Africa, for example, children of God, to make $100 an hour. Right, I would love to just assert that would be the case, but you can't assert that unless you raise their productivity.
Yeah, I guess Rick was right. He doesn't know what he's talking about, huh? And then here's how the MSNBC website selectively misrepresented. Let's put that picture up. Look at that picture. It says, Bratt dodges Chuck Todd's questions. Did you hear him dodge any questions? At one point, he said, yeah, on the Syria question, hey, I thought I was coming on to talk about the big win. But he answered that question. He answered minimum wage. He answered everything. Selective editing or selective headlines. And Rick, I don't know, doesn't look like he did a bad job.